Hey, friends and readers. I wanted to talk a little bit today about what I write and why I write it. You know, those writers who say, I never thought about writing and I wrote a book and it ended up being a New York Times bestseller. Well, that is not me. I've always wanted to write a book. I've always wanted to be published since I was 13 years old. I always gravitated to thriller because what I like about thriller is there are very real, very imperfect people who make very bad choices with bad outcomes, and they have to navigate that. And that's sort of like life. So that's what I write, and that's why I write that, because that certainly, I don't know about you, but that has certainly been my life. It's a whole bunch of imperfection and consequences and, hopefully some positive and some hope on the other end of that. But sometimes thriller gets a little bit dark, and I kind of like that. So I wanted to read a little bit of my book, What Comes Before Dawn. It is part of the Mine Art Mystery Thriller series. There are 3 books total out, and the 4th one should be out by summer of 2022. So the series follows a very imperfect main character protagonist, Paige Deffer. I just want to read you a little bit of chapter 1. And if you like it, you can go get it, find it, read it. Let me know what you think. Chapter 1. It was pitch black and I could see nothing. I had a blindfold tied tightly around my eyes. I took deep breaths in and out to calm my anxiety. I had learned that trick years ago. Never mind the fact that I was with a person I trusted. This was meant to be a good surprise. I could not stop the strange double jump I felt in my heart. In fact, this was probably the best surprise a girl could ask for in her life. I wasn't sure if the anxiety was due to not knowing what was happening, or if it was from being quite certain of what would come next. Was I really ready to make such a big decision? What should I say, and how should I react? I pushed aside a stray piece of hair that had worked its way out of my blindfold. It had never occurred to me that I should try harder with my hair. It's not like it was unkempt, quite the opposite. It was thin, flat, and perpetually straight. Then there was the matter of makeup. I didn't have the slightest idea how to magnify my green eyes with makeup, so I didn't. On rare occasions, I wore mascara. Occasions like this one. But then wearing mascara and blindfolds don't go well together, I suppose. Blindfolded with absolutely zero control over what was to come next was extremely uncomfortable. Is this how Mom felt when she had her blackouts? Was she in such a state of unawareness that her body still moving forward but seeing only blackness? Did she feel out of control too? Or was her brain completely asleep while she continued moving on autopilot through half of her life? How strange that no one had heard of her condition Mom suffered. Not even a therapist I called the other day to make an appointment with had heard of Mom's condition. Even I felt like it was a cop-out, a way for Mom to not have to own or remember anything that happened while she was blacked out. I wondered if I would ever grow out of the resentment I felt towards Mom. She had no excuse whatsoever, yet she was constantly missing in action, literally. It might not be so bad if I had other relatives around, but there was no one else. Because Mom had these episodes so often, we didn't have any real friends or connections who were a regular part of our life. I had no idea how I had managed to grow into a perfectly responsible adult. So that's the beginning of Paige. You may assume, as the story goes on, that Paige might be a little bit of an unreliable narrator, and she's probably not as perfectly responsible as she thinks. But that's What Comes Before Dawn. Thanks for listening. Hope you liked it. Hope you go get it.